undiluted, unadulterated. It's probably replicated, but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on Electric TV radio. I seriously love listening to it. Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you are listening to Electric TV radio. Stay tuned. Electric TV radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You are listening to Electric TV radio. This is radio like you never heard before. Electric TV radio, the pathfinder for radio. Electric TV radio, we dare to lead.
All right, guys, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegante TV Radio. Today is the 19th day of the month of May 2023. It's my wife's birthday. She's 40 today. Yippee! Yes, if I have a song to play today, would have been you get it down, but you don't know what you've got till it's gone. And who would I be playing that song for? It would have to be Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, because they don't know what they've got until they lost it. Excuse me, guys. They don't know what they've got in Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho was kicked out, and people said he's finished, he's done for, his tactics are obsolete, he can't do it again at the top level. I've always said that. I don't believe in coaches all of a sudden going bad. I don't understand that whole principle. But then he went to AS Roma. Remember, AS Roma is not a regular title-winning team. So you are not going to say, oh, he went to a team that is already a serial winning team. Guess what they did? They won the European Conference League last season, a median edition. So that trophy, Jose Mourinho is the manager, the first manager to win it. And everybody said, nobody's really interested in that competition. Who plays that competition? Well, they are in the finals of the UEFA Europa Cup now. A win already qualifies them for the Champions League. And, they're playing against Sevilla in the final. Sevilla are serial winners of this competition. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, but this is Jose Mourinho we're talking about. I can't remember the number of finals that Jose Mourinho have lost. I don't know. If you know any finals that he's lost, please remind me. So I'm practically taking it for granted that this man is going to win this one. It's hard to knock him out. It's not to say, oh, he's not going to win it, so he's going to win it, okay? And who knows? It might take AS Roma again. And then how much did he spend now? Not like I'm a big fan of discussing the money that was spent, because if you've got it, spend it. If you don't have it, manage what you have. They spent up to 10 million. He saved the club 40 million at the beginning of the season. Took players like Tammy Abraham, the one that they said is not good enough, players like Matic that they said is old, and he's led them to the finals of the Europa Cup. Okay. He's won the UEFA Cup with FC Porto, won it with Manchester United when he became the Europa Cup. Now again he's in the finals. I don't know. Now Emery maybe have 3, but this man, Jose Mourinho, is the ancient of days of trophy winning. Jose Mourinho, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hebrews 13:8. It's in the Bible, Jose Mourinho. Just something that you look at. And then, yesterday I was on the Twitter space, and I hardly join Twitter space because sometimes the conversation don't always go the way I expect it to go, because I'm allergic to places where people are always complaining, where people are always negative. I'm allergic to those. So I try to stay in my space, incubate in the spaces that I know, but you also have to like hear other people out. And in the space, as a guy, Savior came out, oh, Nigerian League, the reason why people don't go to stadium is they fight in the stadium, they beat people, blah, 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 blah. West Ham versus AZ or AZ Akmar in the Netherlands. From when West Ham arrived, the fans of AZ Akmar were dressed in what's that Korean film now that they did, that they wear mask and they're playing game. What's the title of that film now? Oh God, I forgot to. Okay, let's just move on like that. Let's say Money Heist. They were dressed in hoodie, black hoodie, face mask, and were constituting nuisance, serious nuisance. Even when the game ended yesterday, they started punching and slapping family members and friends of West Ham players who came to watch the game. Well, it didn't happen in Nigeria, so it's not a big deal to anybody. It's not important to talk about. If that had happened in Nigeria, somebody will hold on to it for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years and say, oh, because of that thing that happened in 2023, that's the reason why I don't go to the stadium more. But let me remind everybody here, and if I am wrong, anybody who's watched football in Europe should tell me that I'm wrong. Violence, hooliganism, and football move together. You see these ultras in Europe that we celebrate, we talk about like they are good people. Those are street urchins in Europe. Those are touts. They call them ultras and make it, especially in Italy, ultras, and make it sound like, oh, these are good people. These are touts. These are the same kind of people that disrupted the game in the Netherlands, the Ajax game. But when it happens in Europe, we pretend like it didn't happen. And then when it happens in Nigeria, maybe just one in 20 season, we make it look like that's the regular thing. I'm just, putting it up there the way it is and try to make you guys be the judge. But then there's one man that I want us to talk about today, Jose Mourinho. And it's easy to criticize when people are not doing well, when things are not going right. Oh, it's a run out of form. He doesn't know how to coach anymore. His style is obsolete. It's old school now. Well, old school or no old school, Jose Mourinho is one to give some respect to. I guess this is his fifth European finals, if I'm not mistaken. 3 UEFA Cup now finals, 2 Champions League finals. What else again? It's not easy to be that guy. And in 2003, he won the UEFA Cup. In 2004, he won the Champions League. And then he won the Europa Cup with Manchester United, won the Conference Cup with AS Roma. Now he's in the finals again. And as much as you want to discuss every other thing that is going on, and I'm sure the guys at Sports will be looking and say, hey, this is our biggest mistake. This is where it was at that moment that they realized that they effed up, okay, big time. And they'll be looking and say, oh, God, help us not to, use our husband to make boyfriend or our wife to do side chick. That's exactly what has happened to them, because, I don't understand what was going on in the head of the people that run Spurs. Would have a coach who take you to the finals of a competition, and I don't even understand what happened, and they decide to sack the coach. And since then, every other person that has come in, it's like there's a Mourinho coach course on that club now, and they don't seem to know how to settle. Even to find a coach, to know how to employ a coach now is difficult. But hey, football is football. Everywhere you turn, you see people doing the impossible. West Ham are struggling in the league, trying to avoid relegation. Let's say they've avoided relegation already. But somewhere in the midst of all of this conversation, they've managed to get to the finals of a European competition. No matter how you look at it, whether it's Conference League or not, it is a big one. And David Moyes deserved some commendation. This man has been a long time coming, from Everton to Man United and to West Ham. Everywhere he's gone, he's tried his level best. He's tried his best. It's not one who's had the big budget to work with. Yeah, Manchester United was too big for him. Let's agree on that one. But let's also agree that the man have found a way to make sure the players that play for him put in the shift, to work very hard and give him everything. And that's what they did against AZ Alkmaar in hostile territory, playing against an opposition that I don't care what anybody say. I always say to people that when club fans behave the way they behave, the club management are involved. You know, they can come out, their coach can come out and condemn it. But I've been in football long enough to know that the management will go to the club fans and say, do these things, we'll come out publicly and disown you and condemn you, but do it. Maybe it will give us a chance to win, to intimidate the opposition. Unfortunately, Jagoda get on that. So you cannot just intimidate somebody who doesn't want to be intimidated, who's not afraid of anything. The most difficult people to deal with are people who are not afraid to die. And Western players and coach or backroom staff are a group of people who are not afraid to die. So bring your intimidation, bring it on. We're ready for it. And that's exactly what happened. Well, on YouTube, you have Erik Lamela Konya. He says Sevilla will be a big test for Jose. Looking forward to the finals. Whatever test they bring, I just want to give Jose Mourinho the credit that he deserves for getting AS. Come on, this is AS Roma I'm talking about. AS Roma back-to-back European competition finals. Since when? Since when that play starts? But then it is Jose Mourinho, and I think he deserves the credit. And last night, Newcastle. I mean, funny things happen in football. The same Brighton that beat Arsenal 3-0 at the Emirates went to Newcastle and were beaten 4-1. That's strange. Okay, so you look at Arsenal and say to yourself that all those people who said I'm talking rubbish because I said Arsenal doesn't have what it takes to win the title, and all those talk of title was just overhyped. You look at this team and you say that they're not really that special. They just became special against Arsenal. Okay, and the win means that Newcastle are now in charge of their own destiny and in their hand. And Liverpool can try. Maybe they'll try against Man United. They will hope that Man United will slip, and then they can take advantage and make the top four. But which one would be more surprising? That Liverpool can be this poor and still make the top four, and then Man United doesn't make the top four? Or AS Roma going on to win the UEFA Europa Cup? Which one would make the most resounding surprise? Okay, Patrick Eromena says, good morning, everyone. Good to be in the house today. Thank you very much. And he said, the discipline of Jose when it comes to cup competition is second to none. Give the guy the credit that he deserves. I salute that man every day. I'm not one of those people who, when people want to denigrate you sometimes, they not start comparing you. Not everything requires comparison. Like I have learned a long time ago, two truths can stand side by side each other without competing against each other. And so it's not a Jose Mourinho is better than Pep Guardiola or Pep Guardiola is better than Jose Mourinho conversation. It's the fact that we have two great coaches who loves to win, who would do everything within their tactical space to put a team together and win. And I've had this conversation that Jose Mourinho would win with teams that Pep Guardiola cannot even coach. Now, why you would say that, the question I always ask is, has anybody given Pep Guardiola those teams to coach? The answer is no. Again, how do you know that Pep Guardiola cannot win with those teams? Has he ever coached any team and he didn't win with them? That's another side to look at it from. Again, the people who say that Pep Guardiola is a money coach practically should try and understand that a Ferrari is always going to be a Ferrari. You can't turn a Ferrari to a Beetle. So until Pep Guardiola now gets to the point where he's willing to coach a small team, it's like saying, oh, Carlo Ancelotti did not achieve anything with Everton, so it's not all that. He should go and coach small teams to success. No, I don't buy into that conversation, because there are people who will also coach the big teams and not be able to do anything. We don't know where the next destination is for Jose Mourinho, but there are talks that he might come to Chelsea before now, but now they have Mauricio Pochettino, so that one is off the conversation. There is also the whisper that if the Arabians buys Manchester United, they will let Erik Ten Hag go and bring Jose Mourinho. I don't know how true that is anyway, but the PSG angle does look good, even though Jose Mourinho said nobody called him, and all those talk about calling him, having a conversation, that if they called him, he definitely did not see the call, and they did not meet him at home as well. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes. But Jose Mourinho this morning on this show deserve all the credit that you guys can pour out for him. So if you are not too busy, your hands are not tied up to something else, you're not eating, your hands are not stained, please do well to drop some very beautiful lines about Jose Mourinho that you can talk about? I mean, this man has been giving us beautiful football since 2003, as far back as we can remember. 20 years of top flight coaching, of winning everywhere is gone, of being successful everywhere is gone. I think it's not bad if we pour out some just good comment about Jose Mourinho this morning. Okay. Somebody said something that I missed. We'll start to Rebecca say, see Newcastle way Arsenal beat. Come beat Brighton, way beat Arsenal. That's football. This is shit happens, okay? And then he said now Man U title race to out of top 4. Okay, if Man U fall out of the top 4, that would be the biggest surprise, according to Duni Remileko. I don't know what you think about that anyway, but let's enjoy some of the headlines, the stories that made the headlines as a result of that it made the headline, but a lot of people are not talking about it. And I think that it's one of the biggest story football-wise, like if we're looking at football. So let me give you the background of this conversation. Sheffield Wednesday played Peterborough last week, and they lost 4-0, straight up 4-0. And Sheffield needs to win 5-0 to qualify, for the finals, to go to Wembley, right? And they won 5-1. Okay, not too many times you see this type of result. I know that if it happens in this part of the world, so that match fixing and referees, but hey, so it's happening in a place where people believe there's no match fixing, and they won 5-1. How do you lose 4-0 and go to win 5-1? Not only that, the game went into penalties, and Sheffield Wednesday won 5-3. So now they are going to Wembley for a League One playoff final. So that's also a very, very massive news in the news department. And when we talk about something that shook the internet or something that shook the sporting world. Having said that, let's look at some of the stories that made the headlines. Vintage Jose. Mourinho's Roma produced dogged defensive display at Bayer Leverkusen to reach Europa League finals after 0-0 draw. Despite Xabi Alonso's side having 23 shots on goal and Moussa Diaby rattling the crossbar. While you shoot on goal, if it doesn't rest on the net, it is not a goal. Roma ended a 0-0 draw at Bayer Leverkusen in their Europa League semi-final return leg on Thursday to reach the showpiece match with 1-goal aggregate win. The Roma side have now reached back-to-back European final under Jose Mourinho following last season's Europa Conference League title. The visitors were on the back foot for the entire game and had to survive intense pressure from the Germans, who missed a lot of chances and also hit the woodwork as they advanced thanks to last week's 1-0 win in Italy. Some people will argue that if Bayern had converted their chances, we won't be saying this about Jose. Listen, if they had not also made it to the finals, I still will give him credit because the man deserves it. Well, Europa Cup specialist Sevilla beat Juventus 2-1. Remember the first leg was 1-1. And everyone said, oh, Juventus might get to the finals. I said, Sevilla, it's not that team. Oh. Okay, it ended 3-2 on aggregate. Erik Lamela, remember him? He used to play for Spurs. Extra time header, complete, stunning comeback to fire the Europa League specialist. I like that. Into the 7th tournament final after an enthralling second leg in Spain. Sevilla can lift the UEFA Cup for the 7th time in their history after reaching the Europa League final with a 3-2 extra time win over Juventus on Thursday. The thing about them is they get to the finals, it's hard to beat them. They play a different kind of football. Almost every team have experienced them in their element. So they are not a team that you take for granted. Watch out for Sevilla. Judge of the jungle. Watch out for Sevilla. Watch out for that trick. Right? Brazil lost at home 3-1 to Fiorentina. Okay, this game is really, really funny. Brazil went to Fiorentina and won 2-1. And so you would have thought that, oh, this return leg is the walkover in Switzerland. Well, that didn't happen, okay? In south of France, that didn't happen because the visitors set up a meeting with West Ham in the Conference League final after Antoine Barak strikes deep into extra time to secure victory. The Italians made their first European final in 33 years and will face West Ham United in the showpiece. It was Fiorentina that got to final. Sorry, the showpiece match in Prague on the 7th of June after the Londoners beat Easy Akma in their semi-finals. Now, a little bit of transfer whisper. We don't know the club yet, but this one would not make Arsenal fans happy. Arsenal fans will not be happy about this one. I'm going to give you full details of transfer rumors later, but I just want to put this one in the news. Arsenal are panicking and sweating because they've not signed a new contract extension with William Saliba. And from the look of things, Saliba have turned out to be the best player for the club this season because since he got injured, it was things fall apart and the centers cannot hold. The center of defense, center of anywhere cannot hold. Arsenal may face a fight to keep William Saliba this summer after 3 unnamed major clubs made inquiries for the highly rated defender, with Mikel Arteta keen to tie him down to a new contract after opening talks. As it stands, the centre-back's contract is set to run down at the end of next season. Although boss Mikel Arteta is understood to be keen to hand him an extension, but it is what it is, man. The guy might say, oh, you know what, this Arsenal, we came close, we didn't win it. I don't know when we're going to win it again. And I'm not sure we're going to win the UEFA Champions League. I'm not sure we're going to win any title. I'm not interested in FA Cup or Carabao or Calabar Cup, whatever it is. I want to move. And that just might become a problem for Arsenal because I think that William Saliba was the power, the stabilizer that stabilized the Arsenal defense for as long as they stayed. Don't forget that Arsenal has broken the record. Any team that have the number of points that Arsenal had on the 1st of January had gone on to win the title. So Arsenal is the first team in the Premier League history to have that much number of points, 41 points on the first day, on New Year's Day, and still end up not winning the title. What a shame that is. Again, Arsenal have also broken another record. I think Guinness record needs to go to them and give them a certificate of being the team that has spent the longest time, 93% of the season, on top of the league table and still ended up not winning the title. Oh, my show. Oh, life here, man. Well, the former West Ham player and the former Chelsea player have something to say. Former West Ham midfielder Joko, you know this guy, he used to dance and turn. Manchester United fans will remember him, for what he did to them when they played against Chelsea. They will definitely remember him. Yeah, former West Ham midfielder Joko labels UEFA Conference League semi-final win a special achievement for David Moyes and Declan Rice after Pablo Fornel's late strike. West Ham United midfielder, former West Ham United midfielder, is over the top. It's over the moon in Usain Bolt style, feeling high after that. And this is what David Moyes had to say. Never in my lifetime I ever expected to see West Ham in a European final. West Ham fans are delighted after David Moyes' side reached European Conference League final with a 3-1 aggregate win over AZ Alkmaar. Okay, the Hammers beat AZ Alkmaar 1-0 in the night and 3-1 on aggregate to progress to their first European final for 47 years with a late goal from Pablo Fornals, making certain that they prevailed. Okay, but in the words of David Moyes, he's trying to be modest, he's trying to be nice, he's trying to, be a team player, which is also good, okay? But this is what he's going to say. He said, this one is for you guys. Not for now. It's for you guys. And this is how I put it. He said, this is for my staff. I thank them all. And emotional David Moyes credit his team after West Ham reached the Conference League finals, but insists his side have to be better in attack going forward. Whatever he says, I'm happy for him. I mean, this Sissoko man have done incredibly well. West Ham reached their first European finals for 47 years as Pablo Fornel's brilliant injury time solo goal seals a 3-1 aggregate win over AZ Alkmaar in Europa Conference League before victory is mad as Dutch fans attack visiting supporters. Now only 90 minutes stand between them and the first major trophy since 1980. Their 2-1 victory in last week's first leg proved enough. Former West Ham striker and Liverpool striker as well. Andy Carroll gets party started in the fan zone. Lucas Paqueta is beginning to repay club record fee, but Hammers have to remove shirt sponsor for Dutch trip. And the Carroll has fun in the fan zone, and Lucas Paqueta played the football of his life. Substitute Pablo Fornells scored a breakaway goal in stoppage time as West Ham United secured a 1-0 win at Isiakma on Thursday and a place in the Europa Conference League finals. After a 3-1 aggregate triumph, the Hammers are through to a European club competition final for the very first time in almost a half a century after a 2-1 win in the first leg in London last week and last cap 1-0 triumph in Thursday's return leg against the Dutch side. West Ham, who won the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1965 and finished runners-up in the same competition in 1976, are now in the finals again. Which side of the divide would they be? Would they be winners on the 7th or 7th of June or so? Would they be winners or would they be runners-up? We'll see. Shocking moment in Netherlands. West Ham players had to jump into the crowd to protect their family. Okay? Like Mama Bear protecting her cubs. West Ham European Conference League semi-final win over Isiakma descended into carnage as players climbed into the crowd after Dutch supporters attacked a section of visiting supporters where many of their loved ones were sitting. Pablo Fornells' injury time winner ensured David Moyes' side are into next month's final, but the visitor celebration were cut short when dozens of Isiakma fans dressed in black hood up raised around the ground to spark nasty scenes of violence that include punching, slapping, and fighting. Well, now you know why a lot of fans in England always run off the stadium before the end of matches when their team is losing, because they might get angry and do things that the Lord does not approve. They might decide to do the devil's work instead of the Lord's work. So instead of doing all those type of things, they always like to run away from the scene of event, because in England, it's a different conversation. Those people, their level of violence is different, especially when they're home. Well, let's look at some of the transfer rumors that is there. Sadio Mane would always be in the news because, my guys, Bayern have said, we don't want you no more. And that's always going to be somebody who wants to take him. Let's be very honest here. But before I go there, let me read some things that are on Instagram. Okay. John Jume 0122 say PSG need that Josie. Well, I think it will turn PSG around, that's for sure. You know, I can guarantee that. I can vouch for Jose Mourinho. 69 Lima say Jose is a great coach. You can see the passion in his eyes. Okay, he knows how to get the result his team needs. I agree with you 110 and 20% on that one. King Musui Solomon says, good morning, boss. Have you noticed Osimhen's completions? I don't understand. Aguero, West Ham, Bono, Sevilla. I don't understand. El Nesri, Sevilla, Mahrez, Man City. Oh, it's competition, I guess that's what you were trying to say. Amrabat, Fiorentina, Eagle. Man, this guy, your spelling is disastrous. I can't help it. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's trying to send me the Osimhen have competition in the African Footballer of the Year. I would love for Osimhen to win it. There is still opportunity for him to win it. He wins the highest goal scorer, that will count for him. But like I said before, this award is done more on sentiment than on merit. So, and I hope that all the delegates that are going to vote for Nigeria will vote him number one. But having said that, I've said if Man City wins the treble, and as it is right now, let's say hypothetically, Bernardo Silva showed out of nowhere to score 2 goals against Real Madrid in the semi-finals. So let's say in the FA Cup finals, Mahrez scored the winning goal. And then in the Champions League finals, Mahrez comes off the bench and scores the winning goal again against Inter Milan. My brothers and my sisters, I don't like it because I love Victor Osimhen too much to even see him not win it. And then we've been out of that reckoning for like 24 years now. I would really love to see him win it. Not just because of Nigeria, but I think that it will be good for his brand, it will be good for his career and all that. Not like, okay, there is any downside to his career. I mean, he's on the up and up and up. But Mahrez might win it if that happens. The other names that have just been mentioned are good names, but they are still behind Victor Osimhen. Let's be very honest. Victor Osimhen winning the league for Napoli is massive. Napoli is not a regular title contender. They are not a regular team. As a matter of fact, they've had players that, based on status and name and number of goals scored, have done better than Osimhen, but they did come close. Like this, even last season, they came close. So this season, Osimhen's done what he's done. I think he deserved to be African Footballer of the Year, but that's a conversation we're going to have in the later part of the year. Let's look at some of the transfer G's that is going on. But then you can also add your voice to it. Do you think that if Mahrez wins the treble and Osimhen ends up winning the highest goal scorer with the league title that is won, and the fact that he led Napoli to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, who do you really think would win the African Footballer of the Year? If Mahrez, for instance, scores the winning goal in the African finals and scored the winning goals in the Champions League final, who do you think between Osimhen and Mahrez? Because the other names, Amrabat and the rest of them, great players, but I still think it's a battle between Mahrez and Victor Osimhen currently. Put your words out there. Who do you think would be the African Footballer of the Year if Osimhen ends up with the Golden Boot and the league title that he's already won, and then Mahrez goes on to win the treble, but he plays a key role in scoring, the winning goal in the African finals and the winning goal. This is hypothesis. I'm creating a hypothetical situation for the conversation. And he scores a winning goal in the Champions League finals. Who do you think would end up winning the African Footballer of the Year? Manchester United and Newcastle United have emerged as the likeliest clubs to sign Bayern Munich's former Liverpool player, Senegalese forward Sadio Mane, 31, following a disappointing debut season in Germany. Chelsea, Manchester United, Tottenham, and Fulham are among the clubs interested against 20-year-old Nigerian forward Gift Orban. Let's talk about Sadio Mane a little bit. Remember when he made that move, that switch to Bayern, I said he's going to flop at Bayern. People were here insulting me that I'm so opinionated, I don't know what I'm saying. Now, report card. Has he flopped or is not flopped? Let's not forget that. Okay, I said it here. Exactly almost a year ago. Okay, I said this guy is going to go flop there because Bayern don't play that system that favored him at Liverpool. Bayern plays a different style, and he's going to go to Bayern and become a beat part, right? Where at Liverpool, he is in the elders' council, the 3 wise men or 4 wise men at Liverpool. So it's going to be difficult. And people who, feel like once you have that time, your job is to go online and insult people, we're throwing insults. One season is over now, we'll see it. 69 Lima say if Mahrez does those, the emotions will swing towards him. Okay, so let's go. Chelsea, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, Fulham are among the clubs interested in the Ghent 20-year-old Nigerian forward Gift Orban. That boy has got a hat. If you ask me, I would say don't go to Tottenham, avoid Fulham, Manchester United and Chelsea. Not a bad idea. At least you'll play Champions League on a regular basis. If you sign a 5 years contract there, you will play. Manchester United are finalizing their summer transfer plans with Juventus France midfielder Adrien Rabiot, 28, back on the shortlist, along with Napoli's South Korean defender Kim Min-jae, who is 25. Paris Saint-Germain are also targeting a summer move for centre-back Kim Min-jae, with the French champions having met the player's agent, according to Arrow MC Sports in France. Okay, as well as Brighton's Argentine World Cup winning midfielder Alexis McAllister, 24. Liverpool are monitoring Chelsea England midfielder Mason Mount, 24. My godson's name is Mason. Okay, while Bayern Munich's Netherlands midfielder Ryan Gravenberch, 21, is another player being assessed by Liverpool. Liverpool are not joking, they are not joking at all. They are taking this thing serious. They want to come back and challenge for the title. Liverpool are also admirers of Feyenoord and Turkey midfielder Orkun Kokun. It's been a while since this boy was 19. Everybody's playing Liverpool. When will he go? Okay, as an alternative to McAllister and England and Dortmund midfielder Jude Bellingham, 19. Well, Jude Bellingham is out of the reach of Liverpool. For the very first time it was mentioned, I said it. Liverpool does not have what it takes to buy this player. Manchester City are interested in signing RB Leipzig and Croatian defender Josko Gavidon, with the German club asking for 85 million for the 21-year-old. Do you guys think that Gavidon, yes, he scored a goal against Manchester City during the course of this Champions League? You think that this is a player that is worth that amount of money? 85 million. Mbog, it's big money, oh. It's big money. Mbog, the thing, he heavy, oh. Arsenal defender William Saliba will enter the final year of his contract this summer, and the 22-year-old France international is yet to agree a new deal with the Gunners, with 3 undisclosed clubs lining up and queuing up and jostling for his signature. Don't know what will happen, but let's keep our fingers crossed and see what goes on. Manchester United want to reward Argentine defender Leandro Martinez, 25, short man who can jump, with a new deal following his impressive first season at the club since joining from Ajax. Chelsea and England midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the one you love to call RLC, is now 27 years of age, is wanted by AC Milan, who are looking to rebuild following their Champions League semi-final defeat by Inter. That is according to Fabrizio Romano. Okay, Tottenham have opened talks over appointing Feyenoord Dutch boss Arne Slot as their new manager. Finally, after rigmaroing left, right, front, and center like Uwana, they have finally decided, okay, this is the guy that they want. Okay, let's see if he works. Uwama82 says, I don't see Maria scoring in any of these games, so Osimhen still get chance to win. Okay, Mahrez, bros. I know the crack my eyes. Who be Mara again? Okay, Mahrez. Okay, maybe that's a Greek spelling, or that's the Calabar spelling or something. That could be anything. Anyway, Ecuador midfielder Kendry Perez has reportedly signed for Chelsea for a fee of £20 million, with the 16-year-old also attracting interest from Manchester United. Well, that is one for the future. Not going to sit here and believe that that's a player that want to change Chelsea's season next season. I don't think so. Brentford are set to open contract talks with England forward Ivan Toney, 27, at the end of the season, despite his 8-month ban from football for betting offenses. This betting thing confuses me a lot. You guys will put bet companies' logo on your shirts. You allow bet companies advertise in your league, and then a player plays bet, and then he's committed an offense. Hello, what were you advertising? You're advertising it for us to play, and the players not to play? Nah, man. Something in all right, you. Something in all right. But hey, let's move on with that. The Bees, which is Brentford, meanwhile want to sign Coventry City Sweden forward Victor Gyökeres, 24, to cover in Tony's absence for the team. Wolves manager Julian Lopetegui says he hopes the club can solve their financial fair play issues, which could limit its transfer budget for the summer. Real Madrid comprehensive defeat by Manchester City in the Champions League semi-final could accelerate the exit of Italian boss Carlo Ancelotti. I told you guys, there is always going to be consequence. This is not Arsenal. This is Real Madrid. There's always going to be consequence. Why some club will be very, very happy that they got all the way to the semi-finals. It's not Real Madrid, though. Angel Fufu, White Angels, don't think like that. The Angels are eat fufu, according to Yoruba people. Angel Fufu. Yeah. Swansea boss Jose Martin is one of the leading candidates to become Southampton's new manager. I told you that yesterday. The conversation is still there, right? 21-year-old winger Simon Adingra is wanted by clubs in Germany and France following a successful loan in Belgium with Union Saint-Galo. Okay, and Sunderland are in advanced talks to sign Birmingham midfielder Jobe Bellingham, 17, the younger brother of. That's the only reason why his name showed up in this conversation, of Jude Bellingham. Okay, brothers who are playing well, who are also moving in this window. Finally, on the transfer window gist. Before I come to you people's messages and give you the time to share your own thoughts and ideas on the show, because as I am sitting here like this, my chariot awaits to take my bull out for somebody, to get the 40 is not easy. 40 looks good on bull. Bull looks like like she's still a teenager, all dressed up, all looking hot. Ah, God. When is my birthday? Nobody takes me out. When is people's birthday? I have to. My daughter's birthday is next week. She's already telling me what she wants. I thought it was supposed to be surprised. I thought I was supposed to just do it. Sure, in those days, they used to say it's not the gift that matters, it's the heart, the thought that matters. Nowadays, the people give you condition. Oh, this girl that is turning 9 told me to buy cupcake, to buy pizza, to do this one, to. Well, it's life. It's the fatherhood that I choose. I'm not going to complain. For my ways forward, Steve Morrison, 39, is under serious consideration to return as Cardiff City manager 8 months after being sacked by the club. Oh, they realized, we made a mistake. We can never make it without you. You have to come back. Don't go. We're begging you to stay. Come back. Come back. One more time. Oh, I came to see Solomon say, need I remind us that the likes of Amrabat, Hakimi, and the other Moroccan had a good run at the World Cup. Now, imagine Hakimi winning the league with PSG or Amrabat winning Tosin and me talk. Hakimi nomination will be given to his mother. Amrabat, he will work in the roundabout. I don't care anything they win. They will not be winning the award. If I know the way these awards are, first of the World Cup, now last year, November, December, that people don't forget whether they even play World Cup. People have forgotten it. So forget that one. That's one part of it. Hakimi's nomination, they will nominate him, Mama. Hakimi, they will not nominate Hakimi. Hakimi's mother will be nominated, and she will not win it. So forget about that. Let's be serious. This is between Mahrez. I repeat, this award is between Mahrez, Riyad Mahrez, and Victor Osimhen. Okay. You know how they used to say in the Bible days, as long as the Lord liveth, when the time for the award comes, it's between Riyad Mahrez and Victor Osimhen. Amrabat is in the roundabout. Hakimi, let's talk to his mother first. Let's seek his mother's permission before we even nominate. Before we even think of nominating him. Yes, Patrick Romana says both men are great coaches, just that Jose is more adventurous and is willing to risk his reputation with smaller clubs. For Pep, way for the risk. Both are great. I don't really think it's about anybody willing to take a risk. So this is how I see it. Pep have not gone out of job. I think Pep will reach that stage where he would coach small club. He could definitely coach small club. I think Jose, kind of personality is that one that once he starts winning, he gets into fight with his employers. Pep Guardiola is a different guy. Pep Guardiola is a politician, he's a diplomat. He knows. If you look at his press conferences, the response he gives, he's being sarcastic, but he will be doing it with a poker face, with a very straight face. So again, where he is, it's not about taking risk. Take, for instance, let me ask you this. You have a job in Shell, and you're working well, your manager, you're getting well paid, and the prospect is good, or Chevron, or ExxonMobil, whatever. And then somebody say, you know what, there's this Toyota company that requires your skill set. You're not going to say no. You just say that if they can match my salary here, why not? I'll come. Okay? So there's not been any club. And then again, there are a lot of clubs who are afraid. People are bold enough to call on Jose Mourinho and say, oh, we need him to come and coach our team. And he decides whether he goes or he doesn't go. But for Pep has just coached only 3 clubs in his life. And those 3 clubs happen to have money. It's not his fault. It's just the fact that the smaller clubs have not been bold enough. I think maybe at the end of this season, Yiba should make him an offer. Who knows? Adventure. I accept it. I come to coach Nigeria. Coach in Nigeria, sorry. Ooh, talking about Nigeria now. I hear that the coach, Jose Pesero's contract would run out in June. And when it runs out, there's so many rumors, so many speculations. Some people say Pitso Mesemani will be the coach. Pitso Mesemani earns $250,000 right now, where he's coaching. How does Nigeria plan to pay him when we've not been able to pay $70,000? When we struggle to pay, gonna drop $45,000, right? How do we plan to pay? Another person, it should be Javi Renard. Well, can we pay those people? Why are we overrating ourselves? Gospel Bukamana, why receiving bros? Can we say Italian teams are finding their feet in Europe again because all the major competition has an Italian team in the finals? What's your take? I think I said it yesterday. They're back, but one season could be a fluke. They have to do it back to back to back to back to back. You know, Roma was in the finals last season. That's good. They're back again in the finals this season. Fiorentina is in the final. Juventus also is in the finals. Let's see how they do it again next season, and then Inter Milan in the finals. And then when I say, okay, yes, these people have find their way back. They find their way back to their competition. I did allow for us the Italian teams have really done well this season. Their league has really impressed. They have had 3 different winners in 3 years. That is really competitive. Okay. And then what I say, if now MPF now we not go year what? Okay. Netherlands is really a hub of oligarchy, just like France and England. And Man United benefited from Jose, but pushed him out, and they have not recovered. Spurs have the opportunity, but with baby-hearted players, Roma have average players, but are ready to kill for Jose. I agree with you 1,000,000% on that one. Yes, those who betray him and are looking back and say, I wish, the rejected stone have become the chief cornerstone in this conversation. Well, Jose Mourinho last week said he had earlier told everyone that Roma does not have what it takes to compete for the Serie A, even when they were second position. No one in Roma killed him. They know his plans. That's true. But if he had said that to a club in England, they'll say, why did you say that? And fire him. Fire him, and then you start the process again. Well, additional format went on. A member, that's why he's showing green. In case of you wonder why his name is showing green and there's a star in front of him, he paid for membership. He's bought his membership, and he's been funding us here. It's like a shareholder. We know when you buy membership in a YouTube channel, you're like a shareholder, okay? He did not even say that with Spurs, and they wanted to chop his head off, okay? Conte no fit hide. The guy was so disgusted and had to say it as it is, and they got him fired. Akemusi Solomon said, if Real Madrid doesn't keep Ancelotti this season, who do they think has the pedigree to take the job? Well, until they give the person the job. When they give them the job the first time, it didn't have pair, not to talk of degree. By the end of the day, he won 3 straight UEFA Champions League. In the modern era, nobody's done that. So not even Jose Mourinho, not even Pep Guardiola. So when it comes to coaching, sometimes I am open to new ideas. I'm open to new people coming to try their hands. I mean, what would be the worst? If Madrid goes on also with the Champions League for the next 10 years, they are still the most successful team in the competition. Hey, unless somebody just win the remaining 10 seasons and maybe they have 5 before. So it's not easy to displace them. They can see, they'll be all right. Okay, they'll be all right. Christopher Martin said, when you predicted that Sadio Mane will flop at Bayern Munich, I doubted it, but it has happened. Boss, you are the greatest at what you do. Thank you very much. Yes, I remember you guys were here. I said, this guy go flop. Oh, you know, somebody who challenged me said, to be very honest. This is what I said. To be very honest in that field, I don't think you know what you're doing. Bayern Munich are a better team compared to Liverpool. They have better team. Sadio Mane will not need to work hard. I said, that's the problem. The engine of Sadio Mane is designed for him to work hard. Going to a place where he will feel relaxed, he would never deliver. People said that was stupid. Steve Oko says, the way that South African coach is growing is a joy to watch. I wish our ex-Super Eagles players who are into coaching can do the same. So yesterday, I posted a video where I was talking about Nigerian players and comparing them. My very good friend Roland decided to be an idiot. And he showed up and he said I was talking rubbish. I said, blah, 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 blah. He wrote so many comments. Listen. Some of you will not play ball. You should be holding back on your comment. Because listen, even if you think I am talking rubbish, take a very careful look at what I have done in the industry. And I'm saying this because I need to stake it out, because some small children will just come out of nowhere and think that they have the right to comment and say nonsense. I have been on this job now for 19 years. if I have made mistake, let's say in this 19 years, if you pile up all the hard talk that I've put out as 1,000, if I have made mistake, I've not made up to 10 mistakes. And then if you compare that with any other person in the industry, any other person in the industry before me, during my time, you should take it back, stretch it back to 1945 up until now. There is nobody that can match 50% of my work. You know how good I do this job. And I'm saying it because some people need to learn how to respect people when they come out in public to say the nonsense that they say. I don't just come out to shit on players, even though some people think, oh, I'm too hard. No, I'm not too hard. The truth is, there is a cup mentality with a lot of Nigerian players. And I'm saying this because of what Steve Oko just said. Said he wished that other ex-Nigerian players, apart from Steve Keshe, went to Togo and qualified them for the World Cup. Take a careful look at all our ex-players that have become coaches. They are too scared to even think, to even boldly dare to say, oh, I'm going to go take a foreign job. I'm going to sustain myself there. Pete Somerset worked with Mamelodi Sundowns, worked with the South African national team, Bafana. I went to Al Ahly. First off, Al Ahly is an Egyptian club, is one of the most successful clubs in Africa. To walk into that club and dominate the way he did is incredible. And now he's somewhere out of Africa, he's in Qatar, right? If you look at the projection of that guy, you will see that obviously this guy's got a very good management team around him. He's got a plan and he's working on the plan. Look at your Nigerian coaches. Which one of them have that kind of plan? Most of them cannot even go back to their clubs where they played for as club legend or whatever and hold administrative offices. Their mates are all running the clubs that they played for. They can't do that. So if I sit here and I say, oh, this person can't do this one, it's not because I hate them. It's because the fact on the table shows that they can't. We've never been able to do these things. And then again, sometimes if I show up here and say, oh, I don't think that this person, maybe people think that the way I say it, I'm too blunt about it. But the question you have to look is, what you have to battle with is, have I ever gotten it wrong? Because I know how much people were shredding me when I said Sadio Mane will flop at Bayern. It wasn't because I don't like Sadio Mane. It wasn't because I hated him. Just the same way I said at the beginning, I said that Liverpool would struggle. And people were like, what are you saying? What will make them struggle? I knew that letting Sadio Mane go was a very big mistake because it was the engine. Mo Salah may be scoring, but it was the engine. It was the guy who was responsible for getting the extra 15 to 25 points for the club. And if he's not there, they're going to miss that, and there's going to be a lot of problems. People thought I was crazy. They flopped at Bayern. Liverpool are struggling. It's at the tail end of the season that they're finding form now. Are struggling to make top four. The only reason they're even struggling to make that top four is because Man United decided to be unfortunate. Okay? Because if Man United have not decided to be unfortunate and they kept winning the way because of the squad that they have, by now we'll be talking about Liverpool wanting to make top four. Right? So, but sometimes people just think, oh, every one of them, every one of our ex-players, if we're going to call it spade, if we're going to tell them the truth, if we're going to judge them by the same standard with which we judge Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta, Antonio Conte, and Pochettino, all our ex-players that are coaches, the only one that has really done well, unfortunately, the whole FIFA crisis messed everything up, is Samson Sasa. The other ones, I'm sorry to say, they're not Sabi coach. They're not Sabi. They're only good because they get the Nigerian job. Name one that have gone out there and done a good job. Okay? I love Sonolise. I think Sonolise, given a chance and given the right support, will do well. But outside that one, every other one, I don't use under 17 team to say person Sabi coach. Anybody can coach an under 17 team. You know why? Because at under 17, there is no ego. Nobody get ego. Then they beg you to play for you. At senior level, you have to beg players to play. You have to come up with the tactics and strategy that will neutralize your position and get your players to buy into it. It is at that point that you know whether you're a good coach or you're not. So when people say, Abonike is a good coach, I love Abonike as a person. But hey, as a coach, I don't think so. Name any other one. I don't think so. But that's a topic for another day anyway. Okay. Oluwaseyi Adebowale said Jose Mourinho took Roma to back-to-back European finals, but all the media is talking about is that he played defensive football to get there. Whether he played defensive football or the people who play offensive football for the competition, they are out. And I don't care. I will celebrate him because he's done well. And this other woman said, don't mind the media, Jose, you don't get their time. And then he said, Amonike was doing well, but along the line, just fizzled that. When you say was doing well, he did well only once, so to be very fair. He went to Chile with Osimhen and the rest, and he won the under 17. The next under 17, he didn't qualify. Since then, he's not done well. So when people say he's doing well, it does look like one fluke that everybody's hanging on. It's not done well as a coach. And at under 17 is not a place to judge a coach. It's like saying Faniamo is a great coach. Come on, nigga, please. Oh, I don't buy into that one. Jilafuma finally said, Man, you decided to be really unfortunate. Yeah, they did. See, my point exactly. I see Kolotori at Leicester and Wigan, Yaya Toure at Tottenham, and I ask, why can't Yobo go to do a job at Everton? It's painful. Well, it's a pity that a pity man died in a pit. Right now, I don't want to discuss other people's life. Let me go and shop. I want to shop steak today. And there's a place in VI, crust and cream. Taking my beautiful wife to that place. Let's go and eat. It's her birthday, no means I don't go shop. I know sit down there, they look at because say she turned 40. When I turn 40, they don't take me out, but let me go and shop, okay? Bobby Ukegwe says, all I can say about Mourinho, he is the only special one. I agree with you 100%. Great guy, great coach. Once again, guys, my name is Idafe Mathias. You love to comment on the sports. Please do well to always like our live stream, our content, comment on our content. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do well to subscribe to it. God bless you. Have for yourself a wonderful day. Once again, happy birthday to the missus, the woman who takes care of me. And he took Tanzania to Nations Cup. No, it's not the one. It wasn't the manager of Tanzania. Bros, be coming down. It's like saying football director now, like Iguavona, if Nigeria qualify for the next Nations Cup under Jose Pesero, you want to give the credit to Iguavona. No, not be so now. He wasn't the manager of the team now. There was a coach in that team. There was a coach. So let's always remember that part. It wasn't the coach. Well, having said that, I need to pack my bags and baggages and go. Yeah, I got steaks to eat and some mashed potatoes and some. Sorry, guys. Sorry. You're not invited. Sorry. Bye-bye. I'm a bad guy.